Hello, mamas. Hello, little people on my phone. Or I guess I'm the little person on your phone. Oh, how the tables have turned. Hi. Hey, we now live in a society where Trisha Paytas has reproduced. There is now a living, human, walking, breathing being that is genetically linked to Trisha Paytas, that is half Trisha Paytas. So take that information with however you will, but that's not what I really want to get into today. There is a larger issue at hand, that, Trisha Paytas' baby is just a small part of. Celebrity baby names are maybe some of the most psychotic strings of letters that I've heard in my life. I don't understand why when someone becomes a rich and famous celebrity, they suddenly feel the need to burden their child with the most horrific, made-up word possible. What happened to John? What happened to Adam? And I know I'm biased because I'm out here named Ben. I have a boring-ass Bible name. Ben, this shit has been around since when cavemen were there was probably a caveman named Ben, and I know you're probably looking at me like you definitely have 40% Neanderthal DNA, bring up the 23andMe results, and to that I would say that's rude. It was 20% when I did the DNA test. I'm only 20% Neanderthal, but regardless, classic names. You can never go wrong with them really, except for a few. If you carry a baby for 9 fucking months and name it Craig, 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 there's a problem there. Or Bob, do you want your baby to be an NPC? Is that the goal here? Do you want it to fade into the anonymous faces of the masses? I don't understand why you're naming your child Bob. Also, I don't understand how Bob is short for Robert. Once again, we are sidetracked. Trisha Paytas named her child Malibu Barbie Paytas Hackman. Malibu Barbie Paytas Hackman. So I'm actually gonna take a break real quick and gather myself because that really sent me spiraling. We'll be right back after this quick break. Guess what I have in the oven, mamas? Delicious salmon that I cooked all by myself. Because I am a chef. And speaking of chef, let's talk about Green Chef. Listen. Green Chef's exciting new ingredients, recipes, and delicious meals support a healthy lifestyle so you can eat well without sacrificing time. You can elevate your dinner experience with fall's finest collection, a curated selection of farmstead favorites, fresh seasonal ingredients, and premium proteins. Okay? You can customize your meals with USDA certified organic ground beef, which personally I'm going to skip. But that's because they have wild-caught sockeye salmon, baby, and that's what's cooking up right now in the oven. And I'm very excited to eat it, and I'm a little hangry, as they say. But you can go to greenchef.com/dramamama135 and use code DRAMAMAMA135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes. And your first box ships free, baby. That's greenchef.com/dramamama135 and use code DRAMAMAMA135. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Let's continue. Did y'all just see my butt literally get stuck on this pin? If y'all haven't put it together by now, this is a green screen held together by literal push pins. And the green screen is not a green screen. It is green paper from Dollar Tree because we keep it professional, baby. #1 podcast in the world, Drama Mama. Malibu Barbie Paytas Hackman. What I gather from that is Malibu Barbie is probably from a TV show or movie. I don't know the Trisha Paytas lore, even though I used to be very much Trisha Paytas pilled. I used to watch her podcast Oh my god, like the one she had with H3H3, I watched that the second it came out. No, I paid for their like premium subscription to the Trisha Paytas podcast so I could like watch it like a day early. It was actually psychotic. I don't know. At least I have an answer when someone's like, "What's the dumbest thing you've ever spent money on?" I can gladly say like without a second thought, definitely Trisha Pay. No, no, no. It's gonna be Trisha Paytas' OnlyFans. It's gonna be that one. Now that I think of it, okay, so we're gonna explain that now, what I just dropped on y'all. So I had a video idea where I was like, I signed up for Trisha Paytas' OnlyFans, and then I was gonna like document it, but I was like, that's not possible on YouTube.com. You will not be able to do that. So that fell through. But so I had a month of Trisha Paytas' OnlyFans, and I can say is probably genuinely some of the most horrific strings of pixels on a screen that I've ever seen in my life. So Trisha Paytas named her child Malibu Barbie Paytas Hackman. And you might think, well, that's the most bonkers name I've ever heard. Like, how can it get worse than that? But I want to talk about how it can get worse than that with a few examples. So we have, Elon Musk and Grimes. They had a baby together, and they named it. They named it XAEA-12. Now, I'm going to be so real with y'all. I'm going to be such a real influencer on y'all right now. I don't want to make fun of this baby that much because I'm so Grimes pilled. I'm the biggest Grimes stan you'll ever meet. And she follows me on Instagram, and I don't understand how that happened because she like doesn't follow any one of my kind, like influencer people. Like, I truly feel blessed. Like, I feel like a sacrament has been placed on me. Like, I got baptized again or something. But she follows me, so if you notice me like going a little light on the criticism of her baby's name, there's absolutely no conflict of interest, and I don't know what you're talking about. My iPad died, sorry. What I found very interesting about this situation was they can't agree on how the baby's name is pronounced. There it seems to be there's two different schools of thought on how their own baby's name is pronounced, which is a very avoidable. It's actually very avoidable to not have this predicament by, just naming your child John or Bob or Ben. I know I shit on Bob earlier, but no one's ever been like, Bob, how is that pronounced? Boop. Ben doesn't have that many options for pronunciation unless you're like talking Ben, you're like bad. Like, beyond that, it doesn't get too complicated. But, when your child's name is XAEA-12, you might run into a few issues. So, Grimes clarified and said that the X stands for for the unknown variable, which just as like a rule of thumb, if your baby's name involves like mathematical jargon, potentially you might want to start rethinking it. But that didn't stop them. Then the AE is supposed to mean AI, which is shorthand for artificial intelligence, but also translates to love in several languages. So that one's a little cute. It's not just like let's just come up with the most bonkers name ever, but it's okay. So then the A12 is a type of like aircraft, the precursor to the SR-17. They said our favorite aircraft. No weapons, no defenses, just speed. It's kind of cute. Then Grimes also said that the A stands for archangel. So it's like a lot to unpack there. And if I was that child, I would have a hard time, in, say, first grade, when everyone's like, hi, I'm Sally. I'm Bobby. I'm the mathematical equation for gravity. Like, that might be a little bit of a problem. And that's kind of the one thing that you see brought up a lot when, like, celebrities come up with crazy names for their children is like, damn, like, you literally just, they're going to be eating by themselves forever at the lunch tables at school. Like, and y'all did that for what? But I have a theory. I have a little conspiracy theory that I like to share with you on why celebrities do this. It's like a multifaceted theory, okay? First is, obviously, you know, it's like good press. And what do celebrities love more than anything is just generating attention, generating press. So, like, you know, that's really the quickest way to get a bunch of articles written about you. It's just like name your child like Booby McFartalot. Like, damn, all of a sudden you've got CNN knocking on your door being like, is your child's name really Booby McFartalot? But that is just like a symptom of the main disease that I want to talk about. The main kind of theory I have on why this happens. It's because the child's name isn't actually XAR. What the fuck is it? XAEA12. Damn. Shit. Like, that's not the baby's name. Think about it this way. You're Elon Musk. You're the richest person in the world. I don't know. I'm not like a billionaire stan. It's actually me, guys. This podcast generates $14 trillion every episode. So thank you all for the support. No, it's not their name. When you're that famous and you know that whatever child you bring onto this earth is going to have so much attention and so much scrutiny and basically never have a private life, there's few things that you can do to prevent that. Like, you can put your child in like a super like private school, or you can send them to boarding school. Like, it, and that's like genuinely all I can think of. Like, in any circles, any social circles they're in, they're going to be known as like the child of Elon Musk. So what if you give them a public name, but then they actually have a private legal name? Then suddenly when they're at school, say XAEA12's name is actually Harold. They're going to be at school. The teacher will look on the sheet, see that their name is Harold, and be like, Harold, are you here? Present. Whereas if they're like XAEA12, are you here? It's going to be a little bit of a different story. And I low-key think this is genius. And I think it's what is happening here. Like, Grimes and Elon Musk are not dumb people, especially not Elon Musk. Like, you can't just like come up with Tesla and beat like, obviously he has his head screwed on his shoulders. So, you know, I think it would make sense. Now, let's apply this theory to Trisha Paytas, who in some circles people would argue is smarter than Elon Musk. I really don't know if she named her child something else and then said, yeah, this is Malibu Barbie. I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna go with like she actually just straight up named her child Malibu Barbie. Like, you're gonna pull up those California birth certificates and it's gonna say Malibu Barbie. And as much as I like hate the name, like, it's not the worst, and it's probably the most on brand I could think of for her naming her child. Well, second most on brand. First on brand would be if she named her child Elizabeth. That would, you know, if it was like Trisha Paytas a year ago, I guess she's like matured now, but like if it was Trisha Paytas a year ago, would not surprise me if she named her child Elizabeth after memes of people being like, the queen was reincarnated into your womb and you're now giving birth to Queen Elizabeth. But she actually posted like a 3-minute video on TikTok being like, guys, like, I actually didn't. Guys, like, I'm not giving birth to the queen. It's very sad what happened. I was like, oh, character development. I just got scratched again by a pin on the wall. Character development. Very crazy. So I want to get into some more crazy celebrity names. And and kind of give you my thoughts on if it's an alias or not right after this quick break. Okay, so I ordered like food for lunch today. I'm not gonna name drop the restaurant or anything, but it was literally like the smallest little portion of shrimp, and the amount of plastic packaging that it came in was like actually insane. I felt like I was like actively pouring petroleum into the ocean, and I felt really bad about it. But thankfully, what I like to use is Green Chef. Green Chef is the only meal kit that is both carbon and plastic offset. They offset 100% of their carbon footprint, as well as 100% of the plastic in every box, and 100% of their seafood meets the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch rankings of certified best choice or good alternative. It's a lot of 100% and a lot of good, delicious food, baby. And with Green Chef, you're reducing your food waste by at least 23% versus grocery shopping. I cannot imagine the percentage reduced from what I got for my silly little shrimp meal. It was pretty good. You can go to greenchef.com/dramamama135 and use code dramamama135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. Go to greenchef.com/dramamama135 and use code dramamama135 if you want to have the delicious salmon that I'm about to eat, that I'm about to destroy right after I finish filming this podcast. But thank you for sponsoring this episode. Let's continue. Hello. So I put together some other celebrity names. First off, we have Kanye and Kim. Kimye, whatever you want to call them. They have a child named North West. Now, my thoughts on that name aside, I also think this might be a fake name. You know, this is like a very, like, you hear it and you think of Kanye. Like, there's no one else out here being named Northwest. Like, I think they kind of started, like, naming babies after directions. Which, by the way, like, I somewhat get the XAEA12. Like, those are all things that, like, they love. They love the airplane. They love archangels. They love artificial intelligence. Like, that's so on brand for them. Trisha Paytas, Malibu Barbie. Like, that is just the exact aesthetic of Trisha Paytas. But Northwest, what do directions have? What special place in your heart just flutters when you hear Northwest? Like, I really don't understand how that could have like any kind of meaning other than it like sounding kind of cool. Also, wait. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I just remembered West. I just remembered Kanye's last name is West. I was like, Northwest, what's the last name? Sorry, I'm having a little moment. But still, like, obviously you're naming it North because it's like accompanying the last name West. So it's like Northwest. But they literally just named that child that because it sounds cool. There's no real need for that. So I think that one's a little silly. But I also think it might be fake because, you know, if you're Kanye West and Kim Kardashian's child, you are going to, like, literally be freaking famous forever and never have a private life. Which, you know what? Like, thinking of Kim Kardashian, that's probably what she wants. Like, so she can profit off them? I don't know. Like, that's kind of what Kris Jenner did, I feel. That's what they all do. That's what literally all of them do. They just keep having babies so that the babies can be more famous and then make them more money. Like, anyways, that's besides the point. Another crazy one is, I didn't know about this one, but Michael Jackson has a child named Blanket. Blanket is the name. Like, I would really love to know what the lore is on this one, what like the deep hidden meaning of naming your child Blanket is, but that one, that's just going to be lost forever, I guess. Up for interpretation forever. And then lastly, we have Cardi B's child named Culture with a K. This one isn't horrible. but it's also not good. My favorite thing, and I guess this type of name isn't like exclusive to just celebrities. You kind of see this with like, you know, your average Karen white mom down the street. Like they'll just pick a fucking word that has like literally no meaning to them and just change a letter and be like, this baby is gonna grow up to be a leader and inspire nations. Like, no, you took the word fucking mayonnaise and added a N, so it's mayonnaise. Like, it doesn't work. It's so stupid. Like, that is one type. Okay, we'll get into, like, just names in general, like, baby names, and how they're, like, being so corrupted. We'll get into that in just a second, but, like, why? When did it start to just, like, start changing one letter in a name? You'll have a perfectly fine name. It'll be, like, Emily, and they'll, like, spell it differently. It'll be, like, Emily, like, EMILEIGH. It's like, are you so scared? This is what I think it comes down to. I think parents have, like, some underlying fear that their child, like, will never have something to make them stand out, or that they'll never be able to, they need, like, something to uplift them, amongst all the boring Emilys, the EMILYs. Like, maybe it's just adults projecting their own fear that, like, they worked an office job and, like, not that an office job is bad, but, like, that maybe they have, like, some deep-rooted insecurity that they won't be remembered or something, or that they never had a chance to stand out. So, like, oh, I'm gonna fix this by naming my child Ralph with a Z or some shit. Like, I don't mean to, like, psychoanalyze every, like, white mom in existence, but, like, damn, I can't think of any other reason why you would just, like, do that, why you would just name a child, just making up a new name. And there's genuine struggles that come with having a complicated name. And I can say that from personal experience, because my last name has a space in it, which has caused me more hell on earth than you can imagine. I will never be able to check in for a flight online because of my last name. I will never be able to check into a hotel because of my last name. Whenever a computer system gets my last name, all it registers is the DE, and then it sees a space and freaks out and deletes the rest of my last name. So I've, like, oh my God, bro. Like, packages that I've ordered where I have to go pick it up at the post office, and then it doesn't match my ID, so they don't give me the package. It's insane. So when you name your child with some random ass letters, obviously people are going to spell that wrong. They will never be able to go to Starbucks and just say, yeah, my name's Emily, and then actually get their name. Like, and it's for no reason other than, like, wanting to be, like, a little special snowflake. Like, it blows my mind. It truly does. But back to it all, you know, like, at least this is something that maybe, honestly, celebrities cause this, because, like, you know, celebrities do stuff and then it kind of trickles down into the rest of, like, society and culture. So maybe, like, celebrities just being absolutely off their fucking rocker when they name their children is, like, having an effect on, like, mainstream baby names. I don't know, but I do think that at the very least, Grimes and Elon Musk's child is not named XAEAA12. I don't believe it. I do not believe it for a second. Let me know what your baby names are, though. I want to critique them and, like, actually, no, wait. There's always that thing that you hear where it's like, never tell people, like, your baby names until the baby's born, because, like, you could be so set on a name and then people be like, I don't like that name, but it's like, that's the name that you're, like, in love with. So maybe don't tell me what your favorite baby names are. But I'm happy to announce that after so much anticipation, I know you guys have been waiting for this one, I'm gonna start reading your drama stories starting today. I have lined up some drama stories to read on the pod, baby. If I can find my Twitter bookmarks where I put them. Here we go. Okay. Each episode, at the end of each episode from now on, I'm going to read 2 of your drama stories that you tweet me using the hashtag Drama Mama Podcast. And, you know, it can be stories. It can be like questions, like you need advice on something. I got you. I am your drama mama. Okay. This first one, is from at Gaia Floelemeo. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Here we go. So I'm a non-binary pal. I came out the same year I met this trash of a human being. 2 weeks later, he's still not using my pronouns. Oh, sorry. I literally missed a whole thing. We're talking about their ex-BFF. Anyways, I tell him to please start using them. He doesn't reply. I brush it off, right? 2 days later, he misgenders me again. So I tell him, if you're going to keep misgendering me on purpose, we can't be friends. We get into an argument, and he calls me by my dead name, and I freaked out. We become ex-friends, and he said the N-word. And his white ass knows he can't say that. I started mocking him to my girlfriends and my actual girlfriend, and someone freaking told him what I said, and he pulled up with a fucking taser, and this motherfucker got arrested. Love you, Ben. Thank you for sharing that story. I mean, damn, I guess he got what was coming to him, but that's literally so scary, and I'm so sorry that, like your past friend, your ex-friend literally ended up resorting to, like, violence because, like, that's actually so disgusting. I'm so sorry you have to deal with that. But hopefully he gets in juvie or gets tasered. I hope the taser that he got accidentally backfires on him and tases him, which happened to me when I bought a taser, and it's not fun. So I kind of wish that on him, because that is a really shitty thing to do. Okay, next we have one from at B1YSMUS. B1Zimus. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Hashtag Drama Mama Podcast. Kid in my school keeps calling kids, including me, a certain racial slur, and he isn't allowed to say each slur. Everyone tells him to stop, but he doesn't. Love your podcast. He also claims all of this is just a joke and BS like that. When I asked him again to stop, he said, I'll stop if I do something for him. I don't know. I do not know what universe this kid exists in where he thinks he has some bartering leverage to stop saying slurs, being like, you gotta do something for me to stop dropping racial slurs. What? Now, I don't wish that this kid pulls up with a taser like the last story, but I hope he really gets what's coming to him, because Jesus, what? You know, the thing is, like, as society progresses and our digital footprints literally become like cementified, it'll bite, like, just feel assured that, like, it'll bite him in the ass regardless. Like, I'm sure if he's, like, in person just calling you racial slurs, he's probably said it online too. And I am sure that he's gonna probably want to apply to some colleges at some point. And I'm sure they're gonna look that up and find a little slur or two. So rest assured that probably that'll happen at least. But also, if you haven't gotten, like, someone involved, I would highly recommend, whether it be like a parent, a teacher, or something, like, good Lord, that's insane. I'm so sorry that people still do that. Like, what? Anyways, please tweet me your drama using the hashtag Drama Mama Podcast. I'll read it in a future episode. Thank you for watching this episode. I love you so dearly. I will see you next Wednesday. Take care. Don't name your child a mathematical equation. And I love you. But the weekend's chill.